Digimon remains one of my favorite shows I watched as a kid. Unfortunately, Digimon has been dismissed by too many people because of its perception as a Pokemon clone. To which I say, probably a little bit. The way in which Digimon was marketed makes it hard to dismiss the Pokemon influence, but revisiting Digimon Adventure shows it was a truly unique and heartfelt story. Since I was like 5, I've wanted a follow-up to Digimon Adventure, and when Digimon Tri was announced in August of 2014, I was beyond excited. But from announcement to conclusion, my excitement completely died. But that wasn't because of my reaction while watching it. Digimon Adventure Tri was originally supposed to be a 15th anniversary project, released in the spring of 2015, but it was delayed until late fall of 2015, and it was changed format to a 26-episode series to a series of 6 movies. It went from something that would have taken 6 months to complete to something that would take 3 years, with the new installment being released every 6 months or so. I didn't even keep up with it while it was on. I watched the first movie, which was split up into 4 episodes, so, the series was changed from 26 episodes to 6 movies, and they took those 6 movies and cut it back into 26 episodes. And it feels like it. I didn't watch it again until the 6th and final movie was released. My thoughts? Well, it's interesting. Digimon Adventure Tri takes place 3 years after 02 and 6 years after the original Digimon Adventure. Most of the cast is getting close to graduating high school, and all is fine until the Digimon return to battle off a new threat. Portals from the digital world are opening up all over the real world, releasing Digimon infected with a corruption virus, causing them to become stronger and violent. Between it all, a new Digidestined Mako shows up with a mysterious little cat Digimon, Mekumon. There are many mysterious mysteries, such as the identity of 2 government agents, the disappearance of the cast introduced in 02, and why everyone's Mickey Mouse hands shrank. This review will contain spoilers. Where Digimon Adventure was about the kids growing up and taking on responsibility, Digimon Adventure Tri seems to be about how the kids' relationship to the Digimon changes as they're getting ready to put on their big kid pants and become adults. They're trying to figure out their careers, and the writers are trying to figure out how to connect the out-of-character careers made at the end of 02. How does Matt, the rock star, become an astronaut? Well, he just thinks of it on a whim. I think one of the flaws for having the relationship to the Digimon be a focus is the fact only Gatomon has ever really been developed as their own character. The rest of the Digimon have only ever served as character complements or contrasts to the kids. They don't really have their own development apart from them. Usually their personalities can be described with one-word quirks: hungry, sassy, silly, etc. There's a point in Tri when the digital world has to be rebooted. The Digimon lose their memories of the kids and their shared adventure. Yeah, nothing about them changes because their entire experience during adventure did nothing to change or evolve their character. My relationship to the kids is what defines my relationship to the Digimon. Unless time is spent developing the Digimon as their own unique characters, then we're not going to feel for their perspective, only the kids. When Patamon is infected, I feel and worry for TK, not Patamon. 26 episodes is plenty of time to further develop their characters, but unlike the original Digimon series, the plot is complicated and a little convoluted, so more time has to be spent pushing the plot forward than spending time with the characters. With a cast this large, usually the better option is to go with a more simplistic plotline, so you can spend more time with each character. There's not a lot of urgency from the characters, and that's primarily because there's no motivating force to get the characters to take action. As much as I like the scenes at the spa, the school festival, and the subplot about Izzy being more fashionable because he likes Mimi, it feels out of place when there could be a Digimon attack at any moment. There's also little concern about the fact that the 02 kids are missing, which would be a great motivating factor for the kids to get up and do something which could drive the plot forward. Instead, we're just waiting on a Digimon to appear into the city to drive the plot forward. It's entirely out of the characters' hands, and instead, the plot is progressed through seemingly random occurrences. Although I feel like the plot is kind of lame, the basic foundation of the story is really solid. A Digimon virus which makes Digimon act violently is a really interesting idea, and the way the lore is expanded ties into a lot of the aspects of Digimon lore which I never thought would be explored within the adventure timeline. Yggdrasil or King Drazel was introduced in other Digimon series. The idea of the Quantum Sea, the network connecting the digital world, Dark Ocean, and that place, was explored within Adventure 02, but never given a name. Learning more about homeostasis, a being which was only briefly in Digimon Adventure, was also appreciated. Finally, my mind was blown when I learned the identities of the two government agents were two of the original Digidestined, which were only briefly talked about in the original series. And the decision to make their partner the Digimon Sovereign was super creative and a clever twist. I've long wanted to learn about the original Digidestined. I have revisited the Digimon Wiki over and over again, hoping to find new information about it. I even read fan theories. However, a problem I have with a lot of high fantasy series is there's not an easy way to answer questions about the lore without compromising the plot at hand. That's why compendiums are published about things like Star Wars, Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings. The worlds created for these series are far more expansive than the story being told, and there's not a lot of opportunity for the characters in the primary stories to interact with people or beings that have knowledge of the deeper lore. And sometimes when a story is specifically created to explore the lore, it can be really messy because it favors clumsy exposition over plot progression. Digimon Tri feels messy at times. The two biggest entities driving the plot are homeostasis, a being which desires peace and balance in the digital world, and King Drazel, the self-proclaimed king of the digital world who is a Digimon supremacist. These divine beings have no physical form, instead they have agents acting for them. But they're not even the primary villain. There's not really a primary villain to beat. The closest thing we have to that is Meicoomon, the partner to the mysterious new Digidestined, Mako.
Alright, sit down and get your comments ready. It's time for Billiam's Hot Takes. Get out a glass of milk. These are spicy.
A consistent argument I'm seeing against Mako's character is she's a Mary Sue. Okay, that doesn't really describe a problem, those are just buzzwords. Essentially, a Mary Sue is a female character who is flawless, has unexplained talents, or is a self-inserted character. Basically, people who use the word unironically will just create new criteria for it so they can continue to use it as a critique. Let's examine these. So Mako isn't actually a self-inserted character, the argument is just being made because she's shipped with Tai, who's the main character of Digimon. It's common in fanfiction for writers to put themselves in a relationship with the main character. Mako and Tai being shipped together is fine by me because it's not like they hook up or anything. He just wants to call her at the end of the series. That is the extent of their relationship. And are you aware of how teenagers date? There's no character or relationship building involved. It's just, let's date. Sometimes not even that. Next, is Mako flawless? I mean, she's certainly self-conscious, and this is explained in the series. She speaks a different dialect than the rest of the kids, she's new, and her Digimon hasn't evolved yet. Combined with the fact her Digimon is, well, murdering other Digimon, and yeah, it makes sense that she's a little self-conscious. Now, what about being super talented with no explanation? Well, oh my god. Okay, she's pretty okay at sketching. That wasn't explained. I definitely needed a 7th movie in the Tri timeline to explain why she's pretty okay at sketching. This is totally unexplained. Oh my god. Now Palmon is making a sketch too? I've watched all of Digimon and I've never seen Palmon's artistic abilities explained. What a Mary Sue. Calling Mako a Mary Sue is just creating a scapegoat for more of the problems within the series. It's an easy buzzword to throw around, but it's not productive or constructive. Don't get me wrong, Mei is not a great character, but she's a symptom of the problems with Tri, not the problem itself. But she's necessary for the story they were trying to tell. Meicoomon is infected, and Mako's arc is to make the right decision about needing to defeat Meicoomon. Her arc is contrasted by Himekawa's arc. We see how Himekawa was driven to bring back her dead Digimon and where it ultimately takes her. To evil! But Mako understands for the greater good that Meicoomon has to die. With the focus of the series being the relationship to the Digimon, these are the extreme examples of that relationship. The 4th movie isn't called Lost for nothing. Wait a minute. However, she comes to the conclusion about Meicoomon needing to die way before the action takes place, meaning her arc is done way too early. In the 6th and final movie, it's Tai who ultimately decides Meicoomon needs to die, and he convinces the rest of the kids. It should take until the end for Mako to come to this conclusion, and it should be up to her to convince the rest of the kids. We should see more of the struggle she goes through to come to this conclusion. Witnessing the consequences of Meikumon's violent actions and witnessing how Himekawa went to the dark side to save her Digimon. When Meicoomon finally dies, it's an emotionally effective scene. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't just a little bit destroyed by the "ta much" line. But as for why she's needed for this particular story, can you imagine if the scene where Meicoomon dies was with any of the 8 original kids and their Digimon? Would you want to see them say goodbye to their Digimon, the characters we've been watching for almost 20 years? And they wouldn't be able to make a bold decision like that anyways, because it's canon that the Digimon are still alive decades later. Listen, I'm not crazy about Mei, but I'm also not crazy about any of the Tri versions of these characters. My biggest problem with her is her name. Couldn't you name her something a little different than her Digimon? Meiko refers to Meicoomon as Mei-chan, and Mimi gives Meiko the nickname Mei-Mei. So sometimes when I'm reading the subtitles, I'm not sure who they're referring to.
Hey, before we continue with the video, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to my patrons who claimed the Patreon reward tier. So special thanks to Shannon Carty, David, Zenquility, Mecha Fishman, Tanner, Reese Jenkins, and Cyrilliver. And special thanks to everyone else who has continued to pledge to that reward tier and all the other patrons. Last month's reward tier got delayed a little bit because I've been traveling a lot, but it will be coming out in the next 2 days, and that review is for Digimon Tamers Battle of Adventures. And towards the end of this month, I'm also going to be posting a sort of exclusive experimental review. I've been doing a lot of reviews about toys and games and card games, so I'm going to try to do kind of a let's play of a card game that's coming up that I'm going to be reviewing. So stay tuned for that. So special thanks to all of my patrons, and now on with the video.
When I first saw the image of the new art style, I was all about it, and I'm still liking it to an extent, but when combined with the voice casting changes and personality changes, I often have trouble recognizing these characters as the ones I grew up with. After watching the first 4 films in English, I went back and rewatched everything in Japanese. There are weird directions the voice actors were given in both situations. My main problem is the weird stoicism all the characters have during stressful moments. I guess their characters are supposed to be grown up, and yeah, 17-year-old Tai is obviously going to be different than 11-year-old Tai, but I feel like the heart of the characters are gone at times. There's not a lot of energy in the characters, and there's not a lot of energy in their performances. Sometimes I'm expecting a character reaction and nothing happens. Sometimes something dramatic happens and the audio cuts out for dramatic effect. But that only works if the moments surrounding it are energetic and loud. You can't go from a quiet moment to a silent moment and expect a dramatic contrast. At one point, a villain takes on the appearance of Ken Ichijoji, one of the 4 missing kids from the 02 cast. From the entire cast's perspective, this is Ken. It's even attacking the kids with the Digimon which belongs to Ken and Davis. However, the kids have no hesitation when they decide to fight Ken and Imperial Dramon. This should be an emotionally conflicting scene. Instead, they hop into battle and even cheer when Imperial Dramon is defeated. Yes, they can be relieved a threat is gone, but they think they just had to fight against a friend of theirs. But nope. Not only do they not acknowledge they just defeated their missing friend, but there is barely any acknowledgement of the kids' disappearances. Kari and TK go to school with 3 of the missing kids, and they're never even like, I wonder why all 3 of them are missing. Eventually, Matt gets a half-assed, indirect explanation from one of the government agents as to why they're all missing, and that's fine enough from all 8 of them. The character's odd behavior and odd performance to me is the foundational problem with Digimon Adventure Tri. I feel like these aren't the characters I grew up with, and the characters have always been the strong point for Digimon Adventure. There's a scene in Adventure 02 where Agumon compliments Tai on how much he's matured and grown up. It's a small, short moment, but it does so much more for me than Tri does with the character throughout all 6 movies. The weaker characters make the show drag on at times. At the very least, I was looking forward to seeing these characters animated well, with decent action, but decently animated shots are made less exciting by poor editing choices, poor sound mixing, and stoic characters. Let's talk about one of my biggest problems that has never been a problem for me with Digimon: the digivolving. You learned that 3D animation doesn't look good in the series before, why are you trying it again? I mean, look how ugly this is. It doesn't help for how long these animations take either. Look at all this dead space where nothing is happening. Part of these sequences could so easily be cut down. If you watch the episodic cut, the runtimes aren't even consistent. They range from 21 to 25 minutes, so there's no reason why the evolution sequences couldn't be cut down. In the original series, the sequences were often edited and sped up to keep up the pacing with the surrounding action, but they just let it play out and try. However, I actually really like the way that the Ultimate and Mega animations look. The 2D animation is very slick, the movement has this rhythmic pacing to it, and this was a bootleg. I found it at a convention. It was like 20 bucks. The implied intensity of the action scenes are never able to be fully realized. There's too much cutting back to the kids, still shots, and interruption. Even excitingly cut scenes are often plagued by unexciting music and oddly silent sound effects and characters. The battle with Alphamon in Reunion should be awesome, but there's this calmer, elevator music style cover of Braveheart playing, and then there's all the silent reactions. I'm so used to yelling and talking in reactions in anime fight sequences. This just makes it awkward. To be honest, Digimon Adventure Tri bores me at times. I would rather have a classic style English dub complete with characters talking where there was no audio before. I have to admit, it can be a little dull. What I'm trying to say is, after all this time of complaining, I sincerely miss the Digi-Rap.
Digivolution is up and running. Did you see? Did you hear? Did you know it was coming? A Digi Destiny starts today. Let me hear you say.
There are so many flaws with Tri, which is a shame because its core concept is really creative and interesting. But there's so many conflicting ideas and tones trying to be conveyed. I almost wish it was a full 50 episode series so more ideas could be explored in depth and the quiet fun moments with the characters could find a natural place. I feel like Tri must have been changed a lot during its production. Making it into 6 movies allowed for extra revenue sources and also would have given Toei a lot of time to determine whether or not they'd leave room for a sequel. I feel like why certain things were hinted at and certain plot lines were left open was because they felt like a sequel was possible. And lo and behold, a new Digimon Adventure movie project is in the works, with some of the original creative team behind the original adventure working on it. At the end of Tri, I'm left feeling disappointed, and ultimately with mixed feelings. I like a lot of the ideas explored, but I wish it felt like the characters I watched growing up. And then the series ends with this. They have the audacity, after disappointing me, to play a cast rendition of Butterfly, the main theme, and suddenly, I love it. I'm remembering why I love this series so much. I love these characters, and I still want more Digimon Adventure. I'm making more Digimon videos, I'm collecting the cards, I'm listening to Butterfly over and over again, and now I'm sitting in a tattoo parlor, and oh look at that, I got a Digimon tattoo. This song, the imagery, and everything about this show is so powerfully nostalgic to me. Yes, I wanted more from Tri, but I'm just happy it exists. The connection I feel to this story and to these characters is the kind which can only be developed through the emotionally vulnerable eyes of a child.
As an adult, the flaws of this series become more and more apparent, but as I continue to talk about Digimon more and more, especially on my channel, I've grown to appreciate it a lot more. And despite the fact that Digimon Adventure Tri was ultimately a little bit of a disappointment, I'm still extremely excited to see what's next. Hey, thank you for watching. If this is your first video of mine, be sure to subscribe. If you're already subscribed, be sure to follow me on both Twitter and Instagram. YouTube is constantly making it more difficult for subscribers to see content creators' videos. So if you want to make sure you get everything from me, hit the notification button and follow me on all the proper social media links down below. Anyways, thank you for watching. Have a good day, and I will see you next week.